HIPAA Security Awareness, Overview of Security Requirements for Compliance, brought to you by Automated Compliance Reporting, ACR2. Scope of this presentation. This on-demand video addresses the background for training for HIPAA compliance. It focuses on security awareness training for the HIPAA security rule to meet the HIPAA requirement of 164.308A5I. Our videos support a comprehensive system for HIPAA security rule compliance offerings. This program is a series of videos intended for small to medium-sized organizations. Overview. 2 parts to HIPAA. There are 2 parts of HIPAA as it relates to privacy and security. The HIPAA security rule, which this training series addresses. The security rule sets federal standards to protect the confidentiality, integrity, and availability, CIA, of electronic protected health information, EPHI, by requiring organizations to implement and maintain reasonable and appropriate safeguards. Reasonable and appropriate may mean your organization does not create or maintain a few safeguards discussed in this training. The second part, the HIPAA privacy rule, covered in a separate training program, is what most people think of when they think of HIPAA. The privacy rule defines and sets standards for the privacy of protected health information. The standard, security awareness and training. A covered entity and now BAs must, in accordance with HIPAA standard 164.306.5I, security awareness and training, implement a security awareness training program for all members of its workforce. This now includes physicians, management, contractors, and their subcontractors. To net it out, all personnel that have access to or could have access to EPHI need to be trained. Due to the complexity of federal regulations, many organizations are not aware of the reasonable appropriate referenced here. Covered entities and business associates have the flexibility to choose security measures appropriate for their size, resources, and the nature of the security risk they face. This flexibility may mean that not all of the safeguards addressed in this training may be appropriate for your organization. Security awareness training. This security awareness training is designed to be updated to coordinate with your site-specific security policies, procedures, and other safeguards. Lack of training in site-specific security measures can lead to fines and sanctions, as in the case of UCLA Medical, which was fined $865,000 for lack of a security awareness training program. This training is based on NIST guidance. NIST is the National Institute of Standards and Technologies. They are assigned the task of defining information security standards for all federal agencies, including Health and Human Services, HHS, and the Office of Civil Rights. The Office of Civil Rights is the enforcing body of the HIPAA security rules. OCR auditors refer to the NIST as the industry standard for protecting EPHI. NIST 800-66, an introductory resource guide for implementing the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, HIPAA, security rule is the basis of this training. Integration with NIST 800-66. ACR2 has created 3 separate HIPAA security trainings as recommended by the NIST. The first deals with basic awareness of the security requirements for all employees and associates with access to PHI or EPHI. It includes supervisors, IT staff, covers 23 of the NIST 800-66 security control required for HIPAA compliance. A second separate program for administrators and supervisors covers an additional 46 NIST safeguards. A third program for IT staff and people with access to large amounts of EPHI covers the remaining 32 NIST 800-66 safeguards. Because you are required to train people on policies and procedures that affect them, we have placed the trainings into these 3 separate groups. The scope of the security rule. There are 17 categories in NIST 800-66 of security controls, also referred to as safeguards, as below. Within each category, there are various numbers of individual safeguards. Not all are applicable to healthcare, and depending on the size of your organization, not all are reasonable or appropriate. Integration with NIST Special Publications 800-66. Of the 17 on the previous slides, 8 categories of safeguards are addressed in this training. There are additional safeguards in these categories that are not required for HIPAA security rule compliance. Some of these controls may not be reasonably appropriate for your organization, and you won't have written policies or use them. The first 4 categories are access control, policies and procedures, AC, AT, security awareness and training, CP, contingency planning, IA, user identification and authentication. The remaining 4 safeguard categories are IR, incident response policies and procedures, MP, media protection policy and procedures, PE, physical access authorizations, and SI, system and information integrity and policies. For more information, visit our website at www.acr2solutions.com or contact us via our phone line at 770-904-0997 or email us at support@acr2solutions.com.